Realty Group.
And I'm Courtney, and we are here with Kyle today. He owns his own HVAC and cooling company. So we are just going to ask him some questions and kind of learn a little bit about that. So Kyle, what is your company and why did you decide to start your business?
My company is Breeze Heating and Cooling. It's a residential retrofit company, which means we just strictly work residential. We don't do any new construction. And so we would specialize if, your existing system that's 15, 20 years old, maybe needed a maintenance or a part replaced or a full system replacement. That's what we specialize on. I started the company with quality in mind 100%. I'm one of those type of guys where if I put a screw in crooked, I'll lose like 2 hours of sleep over it. So we are a smaller local company. So the price to you is really competitive, but you also get quality as well.
All right, so we heard that shutting off your air exchanger in the summer saves money. Is that true?
That's not true. It's not going to save you money. I mean, we might be talking pennies on the dollar, but it's actually going to do a good for your home. It's going to get rid of what we call stale air. So if you have one and it works, you definitely want to run it. Some of them also have a feature where you can have it run like half of the time in an hour span. So 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a game changer, but some tips I can give you as far as in the summertime to save money on cooling your house is in the basement, all the vents that you have downstairs, you want to shut those off in the summertime. You don't want to push the air conditioning downstairs. You actually want to push it to the upper level of the house because hot air rises and cold air drops, and you're just trying to do the opposite of what that is. So in the summertime, shut all your vents off. In the wintertime, open all your vents in your basement. And then the number one best tip I can give you hands down is just change your air filter when you're supposed to. So if it's a 1-inch wide filter, you want to change it once a month. If it's a 2-inch, every 2 months. If it's a 4-inch, so on. So just keep that air filter clean and adjust those vents 2 times a year.
Okay. So is there a big difference on a high efficiency furnace versus a standard one?
Yeah, there's a huge difference. So a standard efficient furnace is 80%. So, when that furnace turns on, 80% of it goes to heating your house. The other 20% goes right out the chimney and you don't get any benefit on it. It's just wasted money. A high efficiency furnace, like the ones we sell around the 96% efficient, you're going to get only 4% of the gas that you paid for wasted versus 20% wasted. So a high efficiency, yes, you're going to save a lot of money. And then also the high efficient furnaces come with 2-stage heating, so you can actually have low and high heating, and it'll kind of adjust on its own to take the most efficient path to heat your house.
Okay, that's great to know. Thank you. Yeah. All right, so what should buyers be looking for when they're checking out a furnace or an air conditioning system in their house they're looking at?
Yeah, great question. Really just the furnace, go ahead and just take the top door off the furnace and just basically look in there. If you're seeing a lot of rust or corrosion, that's a sure sign that you definitely want to have an inspection done before you purchase that house. It could be unsafe or, maybe has a crack in the heat exchanger. That's something you definitely want to look at. If the furnace is in pretty good shape and it looks clean, there's a good chance that it is in good working condition, but I still recommend to have the furnace checked out. Have an inspection. You want to make sure that it's safe. As far as checking out the air conditioner on your house, it's really pretty simple. Just turn the air conditioner on. If it's fairly warm out that day, put your hand by the vent. If it's blowing out nice cool air, your air conditioner is probably working pretty good. Now, it might not be the most efficient. You might still want to have it maintained at some point, but it's a sure sign that it's probably working like it should.
Okay, cool.
In the inspection, do they always take the top off?
Like if I was going to do a furnace inspection?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we were going to do a furnace inspection, we do what's called an ORSAT test. So we have a machine that we put in the flue, test the furnace to see if it's safe or not, and then just really go through all the components and make sure they're not rusted or cracked or something broken.
Okay. Would you get an inspection from an HVAC person specifically, or do the general inspectors usually look deep in that?
Yeah, so a general inspector is not going to really look at everything. Some of them do vary, but I would say having an inspection from an actual HVAC contractor is a lot better because they're going to be a lot more thorough.
Okay. Yeah, especially because that's just an expensive thing too to have to replace. So it's good to have someone that actually knows what they're doing and can find those concerns.
Yeah.
So that's great. And then our last question here, what are some tips to maintain the heating and cooling system?
Yeah, some tips, and we kind of already touched on this for the furnace and the air conditioner year round. Make absolute sure you're changing that filter all the time. You know, whatever filter you put in, they all tell you how long they last around the filter. Just make sure you're changing that. That is the best thing that you can do. The best thing you can do for your air conditioner outside, the condensing unit outside, you know, in that late spring, early summer, we get that cottonwood flying around in the air. That's going to build up on the outside of your condenser, and then you just spray that off with a garden hose at a 45-degree angle, and that stuff will just come right off of there. As far as covering your air conditioner, you know, like a lot of people will tell you to buy the covers from the store that go all the way down around the unit. I don't personally recommend that. You actually want the air to breathe through there, so just put a piece of plywood on top of it and let that air come through there in the winter time. Obviously take it off in the summertime. But other than that, just changing that filter is the best thing you can do. And having an HVAC contractor come out there once a year and just give the system a tune-up is also a really good thing.
Okay. What is usually the cost to have someone come out and check it once a year?
So an average tune-up, you know, if you look at the market, it really varies. You can go and see signs on the freeway that say tune-up for $59. I wouldn't get too caught up into that because a lot of that is a sales tactic where they just want to come in and barely look at the system, and they're really trying to sell you something more than anything. I would say an average tune-up for your furnace or air conditioner is right around $100. Like ours is a 24-point inspection. It's going to cover everything from head to toe on your system.
Seriously, thank you for your time. You gave us so many good tips because we even, you know, struggled trying to learn the whole HVAC system. So yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoy.